The month of May here at Y Country is May We Thank You, where we talk to a lot of our great service members and veterans. And May We Thank You is presented by Signature Dealer Group and proudly supported by ADENTS Landscape Supply, HASSE'S Towing and Crane Service, Pristine Pool and Spa, St. Joe Monument Works, HARTLINES Garden Center, Hollywood Small Engine, Midwest Roofing Specialist, Art and Image, Lake Michigan College, and Four Seasons Excavating. Excited to talk with Tyler McBride. He is an Army veteran. Very excited to talk with you and learn more about your experience. But so you were in the Army from when to when?
From 2018, as soon as I actually didn't even graduate high school. They got me before I could go to the graduation ceremony. But from 2018 to 2023.
And so, just backtrack a little bit. What made you? I mean, I'm sure when you're in high school, you know everybody has had that experience where the military recruiters stop by and kind of give you the information, tell you about how things are, and maybe talk about some careers and things like that. So, what was that moment for you when you decided, all right, I'll join the Army?
Um, I was just I was working at a restaurant in high school, just not really knowing what I wanted to do with my future. Like I know I was an athlete, so all my friends were like going to college for sports and that stuff. And I wasn't at that level, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I figured, I'd join the army for a contract or two, and then figure it out from there. Kind of use it as more of a stepping stone in life than anything else.
Can you share any of those memorable experiences from your time in the service?
So I was actually a broadcaster in the army. So if you ever seen Good Morning Vietnam, that's what I did. I was in Germany for 5 years, so every morning doing a morning radio show and just going places around the multiple bases in our area and people knowing me was really cool.
So that was probably a pretty unique experience. So you got to play music and talk about things and news and all those other different things like that.
Yeah, I was a full send radio host. We did interviews like when the NFL started playing in Europe, in Germany. Got to interview the Tampa Bay cheerleaders. Got to interview Sean Alexander because he came over for something. Craig Morgan
Yeah,
as well, a country music artist.
that sounds like a lot of fun and a unique experience. Something that if you even had that, did you have a dream of being a broadcaster before you went into broadcasting in the military?
I mean, I wouldn't really call it a dream, but I always thought it'd be really cool to end
Sure.
up on ESPN or something like that. So when the option was given to me, even the recruiter was shocked because that's not a very common job that a lot of people can get.
Right. Yeah, that's that. There's a small group of people because I know they do that across the whole entire armed forces network. So yeah, it's a small group of people that get a chance to do that. So that's a pretty cool and unique experience. Any challenges you faced while you were you doing not only that but just overall, just that being away from family and being halfway across the world. What was that like for you?
Yeah, so I was in for 5 years total, and I was overseas for four and a half of those years. So, and also during that time I was overseas was COVID times. So all the craziness that was happening in the U.S. was more than doubled with all the restrictions and everything over in Europe, and trying to be a broadcaster and get interviews and stuff during COVID times was a challenge to say the least.
Yeah. And I'm sure a different perspective too, as everybody was going through that, and even as a broadcaster myself, going through that as well. It was well interesting, but also important as a broadcaster to get that information out. And so now you're doing that. You were doing that for a lot of military personnel and getting all that stuff out there. But how did you stay connected with your family during that time?
So a lot of it was thankfully because it was of recent times. Social media was the biggest help with that, and like still being able to play video games with my friends that I had in high school as well. Pretty much without technology, it would have been a very rough situation.
Right. And then now being out of the military, how does that has that reshaped some of the ways that you just go about life, and has that experience really helped you as you go forward in life?
I definitely think so because I became an adult in the military. I enlisted when I was 17, went when I was 18, and I'm only 26 now. So from the ages of 18 to 24, I was learning how to be an adult as well as be a soldier at the same time. So a lot of those life lessons kind of overlapped.
What would you say to somebody that is a high schooler, maybe listening or watching this, and then is considering, kind of like you, where they're like, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Maybe military might be the right thing. What would you say to them if they're considering one of the branches of military?
I mean, if they're considering it, I would say go for it. Like, there's contracts that are only like 3 to 5 years. So if you don't want to spend your whole life or spend 20 years, you don't have to. I used it as a stepping stone to help me. It allowed me to travel all over Europe and meet friends that I still talk to every day. I have multiple group chats with people I haven't seen in 4 or 5 years because that's how strong that our bonds were.
Well, that's really awesome. A really great experience. And I've had a wonderful time talking with you, Tyler. Thank you for your service and thank you for taking some time with me.
Thank you. I appreciate you giving me this platform.
And may we thank you, presented by our friends at Signature Dealer Group and proudly supported by ADENTS Landscape Supply, HASSE'S Towing and Crane Service, Pristine Pool and Spa, St. Joe Monument Works, Heartlines Garden Center, Hollywood Small Engine, Midwest Roofing Specialist, Art and Image, Lake Michigan College, and Four Seasons Excavating. If you want to check out more videos or listen to more podcasts of our May We Thank You campaign, you can always go